Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of House Millennium.
Alright, so today guys, we have a Nissan Skyline 4-door. So this customer requested us to do ambient lighting installation, rear LED conversion, and also take a look at some electrical gremlins inside the car. So straight away I got to work on the tail lights, just get that out of the way. And then I started to take apart the whole car to get ready for ambient lighting installation. So you can see in the background here, we have the door cards already taken off. We started pre-wiring everything already. So at the back, we put the control module here, taped up all the wiring nice and neat, just out of the way. And for the ambient lighting kits, the strip just goes in between the crevice here, nicely hidden and clean. So right now on the car, started to take apart the front seats and ran the footwell wiring as well. So for the footwell wiring, we like to do it in a way that the cables do not get caught onto the rails. So it's a little bit more lengthy process, but it has to be done. As we're taking apart the interior, he wanted us to have a look at the left-hand side window switch. So we took that apart and started rebuilding it, and problem fixed itself. So tick that one off the list. And obviously, before we touch any car, we always like to do vehicle pre-checks. So we like to take photos on our iPad, take photos around the whole car, make sure there's no damages or pre-existing damage. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so we just wrapped up the R34. All the ambient lighting kit has been installed. Everything is working fine. It's actually looking really nice actually. So we fixed up all the other minor electrical gremlins. Last thing to do is check out this check engine light as well. The last thing to show you guys is the LED conversion for the tail lights. All right, has the lights on? Brake. Reverse.
Alrighty, so just finished up with this STI lib. Went ahead and installed the side skirt extensions as well as fabricated a rear pod piece to match with everything. What we did was try to line everything up with the wheel as good as possible, just to get that flush fit all the way around and keep it clean. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So with this rear pod, it's actually mounted on 2 stock holes from underneath. So there's a hole here in the rear bar and then one down here. There's like a bracket coming off the rear bar. So with these pods, we didn't actually have to drill into the bumper at all. So they're easily removable and you can easily put them back on without any damage to your bar. So that's a bit of a bonus, I guess.
So we've got an EVO 8 here. Basically what happened on this one, we finished off a wire tuck and a few engine mods for this previously. On the dyno, basically on the last pull, what ended up happening was the coolant expansion reservoir basically started spitting out excess coolant on the last pull. Usually that would indicate a head gasket. No. Wait. Basically the reason why this head gasket failed is because of these things here. So these are the head bolts. These are the factory head bolts. They can only hold so much boost. So on the dyno pull, it was around 25 psi of boost. And on the last pull, basically the head itself started to lift, and then the head gasket basically started to fail right after that. So in order to basically prevent that from happening for, I guess, other cars, is to upgrade your head studs. As you can see here, these are custom made 625s. These are a lot stronger than your normal head bolts, and these should basically prevent any issues with head lifting, assuming your head is in, good nick. So basically, this is our old head gasket. Pretty much all it takes is for the head to lift a few microns, basically like 10-20 microns before you end up having head gasket failure. This is what seals your combustion. This section here is basically the most important part. And basically what the head bolts do is they clamp down this gasket onto the deck of your block, which is this part here. And then basically the surface with the cylinder head, which is here. So this basically gets sandwiched in between, and then the head studs, which you see here, basically clamp that together like a sandwich. This is a really, really tight sandwich. So this is the old head gasket. So this is pretty much one of the failure points. This was one here, there's one here, there was one here, and pretty much they were consistently over the thing, over each basically fire ring. Bolts were starting to fail, so the head was starting to lift in each section. It was a consistent failure for basically every single cylinder started to fail, and basically the customer was losing coolant. It was either getting sucked into the engine or either getting pushed out, but in this case it was actually doing both. The marks that you see here are pretty much just superficial. They're not too important anyway. It's mainly this main area here, which is the important part, which is the part that seals the combustion. There is slight damage around here, but it's not very deep. If this was any worse, or if the deck was starting to warp, then we would end up having to take the engine out to basically deck the surface and basically rebuild the whole thing. If it was any worse than this. So this time, luckily, the customer got, I suppose, lucky, because it was caught early and he didn't drive the car. So this is our new one. This is a EVO 9 head gasket. You can make these suit the EVO 8 and under blocks with a slight modification. Basically, the main difference is this is 5 layers, and the EVO, I think 6 to 8 are 3 layers. So probably the most simplest way to explain what the head gasket does is the more layers, the better. So basically the layers, as you can see here, they pretty much act like springs. What they do, they seal the fire ring here. This is basically the most important part of the head gasket. The rest of it seals the oils and basically the coolant. So if this part here fails, you'll basically either have coolant blow by going in or out, or if not, it might be oil basically mixing with the coolant, or you have all three, which is basically most of the time you end up having engine failure completely if you leave it for too long. Most of the time, more the merrier, but not always the case. Basically, just use the right gasket for the right application.
Just finished up the ambient lighting installation on this Audi S3. So this job took about a day and a bit to complete. First thing we did was we disassembled all the door cards, started stripping apart the interior, have it all ready for us to run in our LED strips and our wires. Probably the hardest part about this car is just the trim panels. It's just an Audi thing, so I've got to be very careful removing trim pieces. Probably my favorite part about this installation was the footwell lining at the back. I was able to disassemble the interior housing of the LED footwell, and then we slid our RGB LEDs in. And once that's completed, we just clipped it back into place, OEM factory location. For the front door cards, we're able to put an additional LED strip here. We're able to retain the door handle light feature where we just put our LED strip on top of the fiber optic. And same with the speaker surround as well. So this is actually all factory OEM. So we just removed the factory LED and we just lit our LEDs in as well, just give it the ambient lighting effect. And the additional one would be the little cup holder storage here. We're inside of the Audi S3 now. It's a really nice feeling to be inside here now, just give it a bit of extra character, you know. For the center console, we have like the one long strip. We put an additional strip underneath here as well as the side of the kick panels. Everything is controlled on your phone, so you can choose up to like more than 600, 900 combinations or different styles. A lot of questions I get asked is, can you choose solid colors? Can you dim the brightness? Yes, you can do all that. You can link it to your music as well.
Thank you for watching another episode of House of Millennium. We'll see you next time.